Assalamu alaikum. Lecture number 19 has contents variation and its type, that is direct variation and inverse variation. But before going towards the discussion of variation, we will just discuss variable and constant, that is what is variable and what is constant. In mathematics, we usually deal with two types of quantities. One is the variable and other one is the constant. Now, how would we identify or how would we differentiate between the two? The constant quantities are those which remain unaltered under different situations, means to say their value would never change in any condition. Whereas the variables are those quantities which have different values or their values vary under the different conditions. So such quantities are considered as variable. The example given is 4, 2.718 and 22/7 etc. are the constants since they will remain as they are. While the speed of a train, population of a town etc. are the variables since these are the quantities having different values. Their values vary under the different conditions. So variable are those quantities which have different values under different conditions, and the constants are those which remain unaltered. Now is the turn of variation. What is the variation? In a mathematical equation where a relationship is established for some type of parameters, normally two types of quantities exist in such relationship. One is the constant that does not change with the change of other parameters in the equation. For example, if we take y is equal to 4x, here the 4 will remain as 4 for any value of y and x, but the values of y and x will definitely change. So the constant is the one that does not change with the changes of other parameters in the equation, whereas the variable change for different situations. So the changing of variable parameters is called the variation. So the condition where the values of the variable vary, that is if the value of the variable change, they are considered as variation, that is the changing of variable parameters is considered as variation. Now we will come towards the type of variation. There are two types of variation. Number one is the direct variation, other one is the inverse variation. First we will discuss the direct variation. If two quantities are related in such a way that the increase or decrease in one quantity causes increase or decrease in the other quantity, then this variation is called direct variation. If the increase in one quantity causes increase in the other quantities, that is both the quantities are behaving similarly, if one is to be increased, the other one will also increase. So such relationship between them is considered as direct variation. Mathematically, if a quantity y varies directly with regard to a quantity x, we say that y is directly proportional to x, or y varies directly as x. And it is written as y is directly proportional to x or y is equal to kx. We know that whenever we have to make or whenever we have to convert a relation into an equation, we remove the sign of proportionality and we replace this sign of proportionality by the sign of equality and a constant. Here k is the constant which is just introduced in the equation. The sign of proportionality is read as varies, as is called sign of proportionality or sign of variation, whereas k is known as constant of variation. Exercise 3.2 question number 1 is, if y varies directly as x and y is equal to 8 when x is equal to 2, find number 1 y in terms of x. We will have to find y in terms of x, that is there shouldn't be any k, so we will have to find out the value of k first. Given that y is directly proportional to x, then y is equal to kx is our equation number 1. We will have to put the given values of the quantities, that is y is equal to 8 and x is equal to 2, to find out the value of k. It will become 8 is equal to 2k, dividing both sides by 2 we get k is equal to 4. Therefore y in terms of k is, so the resultant equation in terms of x is, that is y is equal to 4x. So what we were supposed to do to find out y in terms of x is just to substitute the value of k which we just find. So part 2 of question number 1 is find y when x is equal to 5. Putting x is equal to 5 in equation number 2, we just get equation number 2 was y is equal to 4x. So y is equal to 4 into 5 is becomes y is equal to 20. Part 3 is we have to find x when y is equal to 28. So putting y is equal to 28 in equation number 2, we just get 28 is equal to 4x. So x is equal to 7. And it concludes the solution of all the parts of question number 1, which included the direct variation or direct proportionality. Question number 3 is, if r is directly proportional to t and r is equal to 5 and t is equal to 8, find the equation connecting r and t. Here also we will have to put the value of k in the given equation just to find out the relation of r with t. Also find r when t is equal to 64 and t when r is equal to 20. So first, given that r is directly proportional to t, while removing the sign of proportionality, we just introduce the sign of equality and a constant of variation, that is k. So it becomes r is equal to kt. Now putting the value of r is equal to 5 and t is equal to 8 in equation number 1, we just get 5 is equal to 8k, dividing both sides by 8 we just get k is equal to 5 by 8. So to find out the equation connecting r and t, we will have to just put k is equal to 5 by 8 in equation number 1. So putting k is equal to 5 by 8 in equation number 1, we just get r is equal to 5 by 8t. So the equation connecting r and t shows the relation as r is 5 by 8 times t. Now we need to find the second part of the question, that is r when t is equal to 64. Since we know that the constant will remain as constant, that is it will remain 5 by 8, so we are not supposed to change the value of k again and again, or we are not supposed to find the value of k again and again. We find it just once and use it to solve the other parts of the sum. So here we are going to find out r when the value of t is 64. So r is equal to 5 by 8 into 64. 64 divided by 8 is equal to 8, and 8 into 5 is equal to 40. So r is equal to 40 is the value which we just wanted to find. Now we have to find t when r is equal to 20. So putting r is equal to 20 in equation number 2, we just get 20 is equal to 5 by 8 into t. And t is equal to 32. In order to find out t, we will have to multiply both sides by 8 by 5, and 8 by 5 multiplied by 20 will result in 32. Now if v is directly proportional to r cube and v is equal to 5 when r is equal to 3, find r when v is equal to 625. The relation given to us is y is indirect variation to r cube. To convert it into the equation, we just get v is equal to k r cube. Putting v is equal to 5 and r is equal to 3, we just get 5 is equal to 27k, which becomes k is equal to 5 divided by 27. Now we have to find r when v is equal to 625. So putting k is equal to 5 divided by 27 and v is equal to 625 in equation number 1, we just get 625 is equal to 5 divided by 27 r cube. and r cube is equal to 3375. Now since we have to find out r and not r cube, so we will have to eliminate the power 3. For this we will have to take cube root on both sides. By taking cube root on both sides, we just get r is equal to 15. So r is equal to 15 is the required term. Next is the term of the inverse variation. First we will discuss the definition of inverse variation, and then we will discuss the solution of the sums related to inverse variation. If two quantities are related in such a way that when one quantity increases, the other decreases, this variation is called inverse variation. When the quantities behave differently when we apply certain conditions over them. For example, in Newton's second law of motion, we have A is inversely proportional to m. So if the mass of the body will be increased, the acceleration will be decreased. So here both the quantities are behaving differently. If we are increasing one, the other one will be decreased. So such relation is called inverse variation. Mathematically, if a quantity y varies inversely with regard to a quantity x, we say that y is inversely proportional to x, or y varies inversely as x and is written as y is inversely proportional to x and y is equal to k by x, where k is the constant of variation or proportionality. Now we will have to solve the sum related to inverse variation. If w is inversely proportional to z and w is equal to 5 and z is equal to 7, find w when z is equal to 175 divided by 4. Given that w is in inverse variation to z, obviously we will have to convert it into the form of equation, and for this we introduce sign of equality and a constant. So it becomes w is equal to k by z. It is our equation number 1. We will have to put the value of w and z, that is 5 and 7, in equation number 1 to find out the value of the constant of variation, that is k. So 5 is equal to k divided by 7, or k is equal to 35. Now we need to find w when z is equal to 175 divided by 4. For this we put k is equal to 35 and z is equal to 175 divided by 4 in equation number 1. We just get w is equal to 35 divided by 175 divided by 4. We will write it for the simplification as w is equal to 35, then divide 175 divided by 4. We know that the sign of division can be converted into sign of multiplication by inverting the fraction. So we have inverted the fraction from 175 divided by 4 to 4 divided by 175, and further calculation will give us w is equal to 4 by 5. So the value of w is 4 by 5. Now we have to find out question number 12. V is in inverse variation to r cube, and v is equal to 5 and r is equal to 3 and r is equal to 6 when v is equal to 320. We will have to find out first that v is in inverse variation to r cube. V is equal to k divided by r cube. Now putting the value of k and r, we will get k is equal to 135. Now we will have to find out the value when r is equal to 6. We will have to find out the value of v for r is equal to 6, and we will have to find out the value of r when v is equal to 320. Now we have to find v when r is equal to 6. For this we put k is equal to, now we have to find v when r is equal to 6. Putting k is equal to 135 and r is equal to 6 in equation number 1, we get v is equal to 135 divided by 6 cube, which will become 135 divided by 216. So v is equal to 5 by 8. Now we have to find r when v is equal to 320. For this, putting k is equal to 135 and v is equal to 320 in equation number 1, we just get 320 is equal to 135 divided by r cube. R cube is equal to 135 divided by 20. which will be r cube is equal to 27 divided by 64. Taking cube root on both sides, we just get r is equal to 3 divided by 4.